Hello guys, we're going to be talking about the 10 concepts that every chess player should know when playing bullet chess. So we're going to talk about both over-the-board bullets and online bullets. So a lot of people will have these strategies for all of them, both of them, and some of them are exclusively for online or over-the-board. So the first one is improving your dexterity of the hands. So it's really important that you move the pieces fast, hit the clock, or if you have a mouse, use your mouse speed and actually move the pieces on the screen really fast. So it makes you use your arm, your wrist to have dexterity to make sure that we move where you want to go faster. The second one is called play actively. So in bullet, a lot of times initiative is really king. So if you sacrifice to make your opponent really on edge and having to waste time, that is really good for you. And make sure that you don't let them sit down and do whatever you want, because if you play actively and push back with initiative, then you control the game, and that way you can actually win this bullet game. A third concept is making sure you look at your opponent's time compared to yours. So in bullet, the clock is a piece. If you're up a queen in the board material sense, but you're down 30 seconds, it's basically asking yourself to be flagged. It's not really good for yourself to be behind so much in time. So make sure you look at the clock compared to your opponent's clock, so that way you don't get left behind. The fourth concept is having your pre-move skills. In online chess, you have an option to do pre-moving. In chess.com, you can do a lot of pre-moves all in one session. And if you're in elite chess, you want to time the pre-moves, because if you pre-move something, you want to be ready to pre-move the next piece and make sure that you don't lose in time. Also, you can just do it for pressurizing your opponent on the clock. So pre-moving in elite chess is really a skill. Make sure you predict the next move you can legally do and actually do pre-moving the move that you can do. So the fifth concept is developing and improving your intuition skills. Intuition in chess means you correctly decide your next plan and move and join everything together to finish the game up. You have your intuition, educated guess of where you want to go to finish off the game. So if you want to make sure that you have the best intuition, you want to practice it, nurture it, improve it, and refine it. There's a lot of things you can do, but overall, the bottom line is you want to do in bullet, develop your intuition skills. Next concept is called developing your bullet openings. So in bullet, you have certain really crazy openings, and there's something called the Wolfgang, where you actually have a bishop on pre in order to take this being kettled bishop. For example, they go g6, you put a bishop on h6, and you take this bishop d7 because you pre-move it so fast, then they don't know that the bishop on h6 is on pre. Then you can take their free bishop on d7. So make sure you develop your openings in the bullet sense, not really have to be so concrete and actually sound. You have to be effective in time pressuring your opponent. Maybe a sack, maybe a gambit, maybe you look for openings that get you a piece in the clock worthy, so that way you can just beat them on the clock. The clock is a piece again. Concept number 7 is having your time management skills in bullet games. In the opening, you want to be really fast. You just want to whip out the moves, and when the critical positions happen, you want to just take a little, maybe a second or two, to make sure you make a decision. Don't dwell on those moves too long. 5 seconds is really deadly. It's basically down a pawn or something else depending on the situation. So make sure you improve your time management skills in bullet, especially. Every second counts. So the next concept is very generic and very important, where all types of time controls in chess is improving and studying your tactics. So if you have tactics in mind, you can whip them out really quickly, and you can just do it in the really bullet sense, because the top bullet players will actually be able to do the forks, skewers, pins, and basically half a second or basically a millisecond, because they know those concepts by heart. So improve and study your tactics. The number 9 concept is called using checks to improve your chances to flag some people in time pressure. So if you have a check, if you're just being attacked in the, let's say, the last seconds for both sides, a check is sudden check. Doesn't matter if it's stupid looking, you actually stun them for a little bit, maybe 2-3 seconds. Then that way we had to respond to your ridiculous check, and that way you earn 3 seconds and actually have yourself out of the way to flagging and win the game. The last concept can be used in both online and all the board bullet games is when you have a time scramble and you have to make moves fast. Make sure you have moves incrementally. Just move a piece and shuffle them really close together. You don't want to have the move the rook there, basically the first rank, the 8th rank, or the first rank, and the 8th rank, because this is valuable seconds. You don't want to waste time. Of course, you can pre-move those things, but let's say if you have a physical board, then you have to just do simple things. And then bullet, you want to make sure that we just have the time be your side. So for example, this top level bullet games, Daria Dardiski, Herkar Nakamura, Alarosa Faruza, and time scrambles, they're the only seconds left. They do simple things, really close corner moves. You have to do really pre-move things, but just basically move your king and everything to safety, no checks, but you want to check them, and just really simple moves, really close to home moves. You don't have to fly your pieces over the board, because that's valuable time, and it's really fatal if you use it too much. So that is the 10 concepts in bullet chess to improve your game in that 1 minute or 2 minute time controls.
Hey, check this video out to make sure that you get more important information to bring your chess to the next level.